Hello guys, welcome back to you. I just screwed that all up. Can you believe that? I was supposed to say, hello fellow YouTubers, welcome to YouTube Gaming Community episode 221. Oh, this host sucks. We need a new host. This guy's horrible. We need a new host. Anyway, just kidding. I just screwed that up. But I'm not taking it out because I don't do that kind of thing. Anyway, guys, welcome back to YouTube Gaming Community. Better late than never. I have a rule in my head. If I don't have at least 5 new checkout channels for you to check out, then I'm not making a video, and there you go. And I end up actually, and the other reason was I was reading Terry Brooks's new series that's out. The first book, I actually got the second one from the library today, and I read the whole thing in like 5 hours, so I spent all my time reading instead of making a community video. I'm a horrible person, I know. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about Patreon. It is a debate that's been going on since Patreon first showed up on YouTube. It's basically become almost the norm instead of the exception to the rule these days. And so the first video, or the only video I got on this topic for you, is by Mark Vajir. I'm going to pronounce his name wrong because he did this name on purpose, just so people like me would screw it up. And his Lactobacillus. I hate this. I know someone's going to tell me put down how to pronounce it properly, but it was Lactobacillus prime. Patreon, the good, the bad, the ugly discussion. I am not using it, nor will I be. If you want other videos on this, go check out the Shady J show. He did one like a little over a week ago, and so did Project COE. If you want other people's opinions, though a lot of people made videos on this. So, do I care, or do I get upset when someone uses Patreon on their YouTube channel? No. And it's funny because I bring Twitch up a lot, but it is truthfully, I went on this 6-month binge of watching just Twitch, and going there and watching and see how donations are working thing, it really doesn't affect me coming back and watching YouTube videos that people use Patreon. But they need to do it, I think, in the right way. Which Mark Deere does a great job actually in his video of not just like raging like, oh, money, it's evil, or we can do it's our channel, people want to give, screw you. He actually makes some very valid points in this video. But I will say, what I mean by doing it right is, don't, at the end of every video, go, hey guys, get to my Patreon to support the show. And I say that because if you make 3, 4, 5 videos a week, and I'm watching them all, after a while it just seems, it's just a condition, it's a human brain condition. After a while you're thinking, well, that guy's just pandering for the money. Maybe he doesn't mean to, but that's how it works. A lot of people do what I consider the right way, and that is simply they make a video saying, hey guys, I got Patreon if you want to, support the show, or you want to support the channel, whatever the reason may be. Everybody's reason is different. Here, go to the link below. And then at the description of every one of the videos, just like Instagram and Facebook, it's a link down there, like everything else. Cool, no problem. Or if somebody at the end, is their thumbnail thing, like, hey, check out my other videos, or check out, and they don't say it, but it's just there, like an image of Facebook, Twitter, Patreon. People may click on it. Cool. You're not always drawing attention. You're not always going, hey guys, donate to my Patreon to be part of our nation, army, community, statehood, whatever it is they're going to call their group. Cool. Most people do it. Most people do it the cool way. Most people do it fine. No problem with the way most people do it. But where I think things get really, really in the nitty-gritty with people when it comes to Patreon is the perks. And I get how you can easily fall in the trap with perks on Patreon. You're sitting there talking to your friend, hey dude, wouldn't it be cool if we answered questions from the patrons, since these guys, they support the show and they're the hardcore fans, they're the hardcore supporters, wouldn't it be cool to answer the questions? And it sounds cool, but if you're only answering questions from them and not answering questions from the regular fans, then your audience starts feeling separated, almost segmented, where they're feeling like, hey, the dude only cares about the Patreons because, hey, he's not answering our questions, but he's answering theirs. It becomes a very slippery slope, like anything to do with money is when it comes to the internet, right? It's just a slippery slope. I see a lot of people who like, oh man, if you donate so much to do a Patreon call, or do a Skype call with you, or if you give, we'll play games, the other stuff. All these things, honestly, are probably made with the best intentions. The problem is people are blowing up because it depends on how you word things. If I go to your Patreon And a lot of people go to your Patreon and they say, well, if I end up getting $20,000 a month, I'll make a video every day, a week on YouTube. Now, a lot of people would be sitting there joking, hey dude, if I made $20,000 a month, I'd make a YouTube video every day. So they put it down as a joke. But the problem is, may not know it's a joke, and you're like, oh look, that dude, if he doesn't get that much money every week, then he's not going to make a video every day. When it may not even be the intention. That's the problem with doing perks, is you can't anticipate what people read or think of what you put down there. It's the problem with the internet in general, with keyboard wars and stuff like that. A comment you leave in a video or something you say in the video can so easily be misconstrued the wrong way or on a website, and so people may take it the way you never intended. Oh look, this dude he just wants you to get an office. See, this dude only cares about the money and getting an office for his videos. He thinks he's going to be a full-time big YouTuber. When a lot of times these guys they have to put perks so they just reach for the stars knowing they're never going to reach that goal. I mean, truthfully, when you look at any Patreon, the amount of people who truly, honestly give to any person on Patreon based on when you really get to statistics from their channel to Patreon is 1% of 1% of 1%. It is such a low amount. But people blow it out of proportion. Now, Patreon's becoming the norm, obviously, instead of the exception, and there's nothing wrong with that. Would I ever use Patreon? I don't know. I've never thought about it. I really don't even... I mean, I understand truthfully, how channels go down this path, because, okay, you got this group of hardcore supporters that like, dude, I love your videos. I watched it for years, dude. I want to help out in some way. I like to give somehow. And this is an avenue for them to do that. And I understand why people set it up like, hey, you know what? There's this group that wants to give. Cool. There they go. If they want to do it, there they can do it this way. Problem solved. I can understand if a lot of people were commenting, hey, dude, if you did Patreon, I give. I understand how people do that. Like, I want to support the show. I mean, I'm not against doing Patreon, like, for myself, but I'm also really right now don't care about doing it either. It's one of those things where it's cool, and I think, will it eventually come a point where everybody uses it? No, there's always going to be some people who don't use it. Is there anything? I understand some people want a better computer, better camera, better lighting, and they think it's this way that might help them do that. That's cool. I think a lot of people misconstrue it. Hey, dude, you give me this stuff, I can make this my lifelong dream be in my career. Work and perseverance, anything can happen. I just don't think you can completely point that out to everybody, because then some people just take that the wrong way. But, again, what do you guys think about Patreon? What do you guys think about the whole thing? What do you think are the pitfalls that people do with it? What do you think are the mistakes that people should not make? Because that's really the mistakes people shouldn't make on Patreon. And would you ever give to any page? Would you give to a Patreon? Or are you against it? Or just not care? You're like, you know what? It's cool that people do it, but I don't care. I could go on forever on this topic. I hope I covered it good enough for myself. I'm sure when I talk about the comments at the end of the next video, I'm sure I'm going to add stuff that I did not put in here. But anyway, love to hear your guys' comments on it. I know it's a big debate going on. So let's move on. And this time I'm not going to do my intro for this. They're for channels to check out. What, you don't like new stuff? Because I want to get this video out, and I'm not going to add that in this time. So our 5 channels are a rather interesting, different group of channels. The first channel is called FUgameCrue, and I just love the name before we got into anything. Basically, they have a little bit of comedy in their channel. Like, if you look at the last video, which is a review of Pixel, the movie, which isn't out yet, but it's a cool little, using kind of like little Pac-Man and other footage, like jokingly doing a review of it. Or they do they do some gameplay, they do some gaming news, but there's like a little bit of comedy added into it, and they are not afraid to use, language, like, foul language or cursing. So if you like that kind of stuff, definitely go check them out. They have a nice, I call it a nice fun to their channel. You just have to watch it to understand what I'm saying. So next channel to check out is Chadtronic. Another interesting channel is he does comedy bits. He does a lot of reactions to like stuff. Like, the last 2 videos he did are like weird, like Japanese game commercials, and him reacting to those. Now, reactions have become a big thing on YouTube. I didn't realize this until E3 with all the reactions to Final Fantasy VII Remake and Shenmue 3 videos. reactions have now become a thing on YouTube, where people are watching them, and if people are honest with their reactions and not making it fake, a lot of people actually enjoy. You know, when I watched a lot of Final Fantasy VII Remake reactions, the truly honest ones, the truly excited fan ones, are the coolest ones to me. And I think people like to watch some of that stuff. He does that. He does talk about some game. He does talk about gaming topics. He does a little bit of everything on this channel, really. So if you're interested in that, go check out his channel. Our next one is Classic Gaming Quarterly. So this channel is unique because he does things like, for example, like say PlayStation 1 launch perspective, where like you go through the games that launched when the PlayStation 1 came out, or the Sega Genesis launch perspective, the games that came out with the Sega Genesis when it came out, or for example, you know, like a game series perspective, you know, like the Golden Axe series perspective and stuff like that. He also covers individual, a little bit of gaming news in there, a little bit of opinions on stuff, but overall, like that kind of cool. Like if you like retro stuff, then you're definitely gonna like his channel. And our next one is Retro Gaming Tube 85. Channel has been around very long. Again, covers mainly retro stuff. You know, a little bit of gameplay, a little bit of talking about stuff. So if that's your type of thing, definitely go check out. And the last one, absolutely love the name. This Does Not Compute. And rather interesting channel. You know, basically what, 11 more or less been around a year. So in this channel's case, he does a lot of how-to stuff on there. There's a lot of how-to videos on his channel. Like, so, Game Boy Color, you know, things, all kinds of different systems, all kinds of how-to stuff. There is a little bit of pickup on there. There is a little bit of, like, talking about gaming news and stuff. But a lot of how-to. So if that's your kind of thing, definitely go check out his channel. Of course, his last video, I think, was Why the Vita's Not Dead. I believe that was his last video. Anyway, definitely go check him out. So let's get to our videos, the rest of our videos to check out. And our first one is a channel I watched for a long time, Clint, aka Lazy Game Reviews. My PC game collection, 3,000 plus games. Now, what makes this channel unique when I talk about it is that he covers just basically PC games. And this is him showing off the room that you know he records in, but then the other room where he has most of his PC game. What I mean by PC game is mainly boxed PC games, and he goes through like in detail of the games, and he has a very knowledgeable on all these games, and a lot of games that like I had played. You know, of course, Doom 1 or 2 was a Simple Core, I believe it's called, an RPG I have by Monolith. That is an underrated RPG that probably a lot of people did not play. That came out for the PC. I want to say what I almost want to say it was like late 90s, early 2000s, I believe, but great game. But he has a lot of great games, a lot of classic computer games. If you ever played computer games ever, from Ultima to, you know, King's Quest, Doom, whatever, he has all kinds of games. You're liable to find at least one box game that you had played in your childhood. Wizardry, whatever. He has a ton of them. It's really cool to see. Our next one is an interesting video by AcidGlow called YouTube Gaming History 2005 to 2015. He covers a lot of stuff in a short amount of time in this video. And some of it is stuff that is perpetuated through the years. But basically, one of the most interesting things he talks about in this video to me is the money aspect of YouTube. And it brings up specifically, you're just in it for the money. Because he points to the point, he made a video 5 years before he ever, you know, monetized anything. And how could you say just in it for the money when, you know, I made videos with others for 5 years. But at the same time, everybody's making videos for the money. Let me say this. The money is not a driving force. It is, I think it is an addition to a lot of things for a lot of people making videos on YouTube. What I mean by that is, first thing I always think of, wouldn't it be cool to make a video on this? That's always what I go into when I make a video on YouTube. Oh man, for example, it's kind of cross-promote time. So on my, just aware of it, I'm going to cross-promote my other channel for a second. So, on my Gaming Tidbit channel, used to be called YGGC now, I'll be talking about the Diddy Kong 2 rumor on the NX Plus, you know, what I think Nintendo should do with it. And it's because I was excited about Diddy Kong that I made the video. It's not because, oh my gosh, I could get monetized. But the other reason I make videos is the comments. The comments are the coolest things about videos. To see how people answer, respond about what you made in a video or talk about is always cool. To hear their reaction or what they liked or what they want to discuss. Sometimes the comments and discussion you have with them are not even tied to the video. But it's a cool thing that happens. To me, I think money will always be in the aspect. I don't think it can be your primary focus, because if you do, then you're not going to be making, your videos are going to suffer for that, I do think. But he covers basically 2000 times 15. He does a good job covering a lot of stuff, so much stuff. This video will be really long, and definitely go check it out. It's about people do gameplay today. It's about, you know, I think if you start watching the video, you kind of get screwed that he's negative at first, but then he, at the, you know, in the second half, he really gets, you know, positive, and you really look at, when you're done with the watching the video, you really take in what you talk about the whole time, and you really see a lot of the stuff that he's talking about that has happened to YouTube, definitely in the community over the years. Anyway, our next video is by Nostalgic Dan Chat-Hyperdimension Neptunia U Action Unleashed. Now, this is his last Dan Chat video on his channel. That's why I shout out. He's going to still be doing other videos, but this video series is done. So, again, I always loved Dan, because he always covers a lot of RPGs, and I always love RPGs, and he helps me keep up with them, but I'm not really paying attention to what's coming out sometimes, so I definitely go check it out. He did a really good job, like always, with Dan Chat. So our next one is from Atari Fitness, YouTube Challenge, Fantasy Zone Arcade version. Now, he has done these arcade challenges, or these YouTube challenges for a year, and this one's Fantasy Zone, which is an awesome arcade game. If you've never checked it out, or if you're interested, like, hey, you know what, I could beat his high score, definitely go check out his channel and his video. Our next one is one I saw in the news, which is really cool for Commodore 64 fans. And this one, Gadget UK 164 had a video of, and that's Ghouls and Goblins. God, if I say it right, Ghosts and Goblins arcade Commodore 64 released. So someone went and tried to make a more perfect arcade version of, you know, Ghosts and Goblins on the Commodore 64, and it looks really close. It looks really cool. If you never checked it out, check it out. Our next one is from VectrexRoli, 8 classic TI-99 4A speech synthesizer games, like, was it Persact, or a bunch of games like that, where speech synthesizing was actually in the game for the TI-99 side. So, if you never checked out those kind of games, or you want to see games that do that, or what the speech synthesizer looks like, definitely go check out his channel. He did a really good job on this video with that. Our next one is from StigsWorld, and it is Got Another Dragon, Let's Customize It. So, you got another Dragon 32. Now, Dragon was never a thing over here. These computers obviously didn't exist over here. It was only, you know, over like in Europe. And not only does he show you the computer, which when you look at it, you go, wow, that kind of looks like an old Mac in a way. I mean, the cases are similar design. They're not exactly the same or anything. Totally different computers. But then he redoes it all from being like in that kind of color to a cool black, you know, look color. And he does the keys and everything. You really ought to check it out if you're interested in ever customizing it, or see someone customize something that didn't come out over here. It's really cool. Our next video is from InfectedFlinch, Competition Win Stuff, but more importantly, what's your top 5 gaming villains and why? Well, this is awful interesting to me, because my top 5 gaming villains are really hard. When you think about it, you gotta go, okay, my top 5, not like just what are your top 5 gaming villains all time to you? And it's weird. It depends. Sometimes it gets easy to get trapped on the what you played lately, because I think that happens. But I was thinking of coolest bosses for me, and it's funny because no matter what I do, I kind of get caught in the Nintendo phase. So first of all, my favorite villain is going to be a really weird one for a lot of people, and this is going to be in my top 5. And that's, of course, the King Toad guy from Super Mario Bros. 2 for the U.S., obviously not in Japan, because it was the only time they did not use Bowser somehow as a villain. And I just thought it was so cool that they were getting another villain, and he was so different. So that's one of my top 5 villains, because he was so unique in the Mario series. Though Bowser, by the way, is on that top 5 list too. I mean, I play all the Mario games. He's just, again, a cool enemy to me. You know, over the years he's changed, but he's still always been there, and he's still like what I think of a major villain for me. Another villain that affected me, of course, is Ganon in the original Legend of Zelda. He's still another one of my top 5 villains. A lot of these villains for me are going to be NES villains, ironically enough. He's going to be one of my favorite. He just was, because he stuck out. And that game stuck out on me. The funny thing is, my number 4th villain is going to be from the original Ninja Gaiden. The villain in the original Ninja Gaiden. names that escape me right now. How can you not know his name? But Ninja Gaiden looks so different for me when it came out on the NES. You know, so like cinematic at the time. It was such a different story, and that villain always stuck with me. And I should know his name. You're a horrible person, you don't know his name, which is true. Now my fifth one. I'm gonna stare at my game collection all day and not give you an answer. It's still there. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, my fifth villain, the most interesting. I'll have to go old school. I always do, but it has to always be Dracula from Castlevania. That's my fifth villain. I could have gone with Contra or any other game, but that's my five off the top of my head. But anyway, if you want to do your top 5 villains, definitely go check out his video. Leave a video response if you want to do a video response to it. Really, it's cool to think about your top 5 villains. Anyway, our next video is from Novabug, and it is the Friday Foursome number 7 gaming channel shout out. So what he does every Friday is a topic. He gives people like a certain amount of time to respond to the video. That was just a long, silly silence for no reason. Anyway, so, and what he does is basically the 4 people that kind of win, in a sense, they all get to, their responses are all in his next Friday, obviously Friday Foursome video, and then at the very end, he tells you the next one. And this week's is to basically shout out 4 gaming channels. So if you want to shout out 4 gaming channels, leave a comment to his video or do a video response and put it in the link to his video, because people don't realize you can still video responses. You just have to put the link in the comments to the actual video. So there you go. And our last video, guys, been kind of controversial lately due to some things going on. MetalJesusRocks. Should pauper YouTubers worry about security and hacks? Now, when I was talking about Patreon, this was from one of his Patreon members, truthfully, but I think this is, but the reason I bring this up is this is a worry everybody should have who's online, and that is your security and stuff. You should always do the best you can to protect yourself. Do not, and when it comes to videos, and this is always, I've seen this other people video, do not put anything that could possibly be personal that could lead to your security being compromised in your video. What I mean is a box with your address labeled on it, whatever. When you do something, when you do your, one great thing about this video talks about like passwords and accounts. Don't do anything personal that's you. When you make a password, don't make it your favorite sport team. Don't make it your favorite dog, child, whatever. It's funny because when I went to when I was learning computer networking, about 2006, went to school for that for a little bit. While they said the best password is a phrase, because they're not gonna, like, the best password is a phrase, obviously with a capital letter, or if numbers are in it, or symbols, because that's less likely for people to figure out than just a simple word. But at the same time, don't put anything personal in your password. Take your protection serious. In the day and age of identity theft, you really need to take it serious. I know MetalJesus talked about it happening to him, getting compromised. I've had stuff compromised in the past, way before I did YouTube, and immediately took action the second I knew it happened, and was able to stop it from happening. Likely a guy got all the number, tried to Western Union a big amount of money to himself overseas. The funny thing is, Western Union doesn't send it. It only sends it basically to the address that the person lives at. It won't send it, like, it would not send it over there due to the fact things didn't match up. Now, the bank killed it anyway, because our bank specifically, if we spend out of our normal range, red flags immediately go up, and then they start questioning us before, like, they'll pay out. Like, did you actually do this? And you'd be yes or no. So in that case, even though it already took plans before it happened, by the time we got to the bank to take care of it, they had already done stuff, or tried to do stuff. a lot of times they try to do small purchases or small things for you not to notice. I know in case I have noticed one other time, it's made an 18 purchase dollar here to there to like outdoor.com or somewhere that we never shop, and we immediately noticed it and took care of it. Sometimes they try to do small purchases to see if you're paying attention and then later hit you. But when it comes to security, you need to protect yourself, and that includes your videos. You need to make sure that you're not leaving yourself open by putting something. And I know some people say, well, you're being a little overprotective. No, don't put your address in the video. I mean, what I mean by don't put like your name, don't put things that could come back to haunt you. You want to know a person by the first name, obviously, but don't be leaving too much personal information. And in security, especially, you know, to protect yourself, even if you make videos or not, if you just watch videos, it's a very important thing. You need to make sure you take care of your passwords. Taking your passwords a lot would help. You know, not using the same password for everything, which a lot of people do. You know, so anyway. Check it out. It was a really good video. Left a lot to think about after watching it. Anyway, guys, now it's time to get to our comments from last video, and I'm just going to wing this sucker because I didn't this week. And let's go to... Now, last week's video topic is, what retro game would you like to see be remade? Now, Matropolis said, I'm a huge fan of the Bucky O'Hara cartoon NES game. I'd love to see the remakes made. They could be awesome on current gen. And it's funny because, you know, I saw Michael B. the Game Genie just did Game & Watch playing this game, and it looks incredibly awesome, but also incredibly hard. I actually read the comic book. There was a comic book that came out for Bucky O'Hara. I remember the cartoon. Bucky O'Hara would be a good game to remade because, like Teenage Mutant Turtles and other stuff, it almost screams like, you know, that kind of old style beat 'em up game that could happen with it, or like the original one, like remake it like the original one, just with better graphics, which could easily be something. And it's funny they haven't remade it, because that, to me, would be easily something that could not only be made an awesome game, but merchandised, obviously, which would be a big thing. Now, gameplay and talk in both Croooow, exclamation, both brought up they would love to see a Battletoads. Now, I know that Phil Spencer, who runs Microsoft Division Xbox, and that they have been teasing Battletoads for a while. I wouldn't be surprised if they remake Battletoads. I think it'd be cool. I think Battletoads never got the right shot. Like, I know they made like a couple Battletoads games and Battletoads Double Dragon. They just never seemed to like, that was also to me like Teenage Mutant Turtles. That they had so much potential as characters. The world of not only being cartoony, but making them into a cartoon and merchandising. But yeah, for some reason that all failed. Now obviously the first Battletoads is obviously historically known, going to the cave and you can kill your two-player, your second player just turns into a ball and can knock the other player off. But Battletoads is, I really love Battletoads. You know, I beat the first Battletoad game, and I remember being so relieved I beat that game, but I also would love a new Battletoads. That'd be real awesome. So our next one is from Duhmez, and he said he wants to see a 2D sequel to Super Mario Bros. 2 USA. You know, wouldn't that be great? Done like new Super Mario Brothers, but the game mechanics would be of Super Mario Bros. 2. It'd be awesome if this mode was available for Super Mario Maker, like 2 different rule sets for a stage. Here's the thing. I think Super Mario Bros. 2 update would be cool, but I also think they have to be careful how they do it. Now, obviously, with the new game modes and stuff that have been added to Super Mario Bros. Since then, there's a lot they can do with it. You know, Mouser and Birdo and other characters came from Super Mario Bros. 2 USA. There's been some reports and rumors when you talk about Super Mario Bros. 2 and Super Mario Maker that it's possible that Nintendo may release that for Mario Maker as DLC later on down the road. Because in Mario Maker actually is, the Super Mario Bros. 2 doors are in there, and some other things. There's a couple little things in there that just aren't said Super Mario Bros. 2. So it's a possibility maybe down the road that could happen. Anyway. So our next one is from 911 Gamer, and he had a few. That's just one. He would like to see a remake of Road Rash. Oh man, the original Road Rash, like on the Genesis, was cool, but Road Rash on 3DO was one of my favorites, which also was on the PlayStation 1. I'd really love to see Road Rash. I know when you're talking about Criterion, it said they'd love to make a Road Rash. It's too bad EA won't let them do it. Jetpack from the Spectrum, which I never played. Streets of Rage, which I absolutely love. One thing we're missing these days are just good beat 'em up games, right? I mean, we need some good beat 'em up games these days. That's what we need. And Rygar, which he says the links, but of course it was on the NES. Ported a lot of stuff. I love the arcade game of Rygar. I would love to see a new Rygar. You know, now I know they try to put updated properly. Again, just the side view like the original, the more arcadey, you know, that kind of game. But I think it was slightly better mechanics, obviously, and that'd be really cool. That would be cool to have a new one, for me at least. Now, our last one, which is a rather interesting one, is from KidShoryuken. And that is, if I had to pick one, I would think Sweet Home. It's a great 8-bit horror title by Capcom that never got released outside Japan. I think it'd be cool enough premise you can make something really interesting on a modern console. Now, a horror game is probably would be the coolest thing to remake like Sweet Home, because obviously in the 8-bit era you had to think a lot of things. And today you could do so much. You could flesh out so much. And since so few people probably played Sweet Home, you can flesh out and almost make it seem like it's a new IP altogether for a lot of people. You know, like if you took an Atari 2600 game, horror game, and tried to port it today, like, you know, Haunting or something, you could do so much with it. That'd be kind of cool. But that's everything everybody said. Thanks to everybody who commented. I will put everybody's links below that I read their comments to. And just like we'll next week with, obviously, about Patreon. But guys, this is probably a real long video. I went on forever and ever and ever. Anyway, thanks for watching like always, guys. And I'll make another video next week. Later.